Everyone, myself Roshni Shaikh, doing my MBA from Marketing Specialization, and today I am going to give presentation on project life cycle, subject project management. You all might have heard about product life cycle, but product life cycle and project life cycle both are the different things. As a project manager, you should know the difference between product life cycle and project life cycle. Since a project produces a product and then ends the product with a proper product, the product life cycle is bigger than the project life cycle. So now first of all we are going to see what is a project. Project, as defined, is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. The final product, actual final product which we get out from the from the project. All projects vary in complexity, but they all follow similar life cycles. All projects have deliverable, meaning they always produce something. Anything which we are processing during our project will give us a proper output, something in return. For example, new product development, building, renovation, wedding, dinner party are some of the example of the project from which we are going to get an actual product. Now there is a project life cycle also, from which they have to pass from all the sequences. What is a project life cycle? Project life cycle is a series of phases of project, from initiation to completion, from start to end, from first to last. The cycle gives a practical approach of problem solving. During this approach, we'll come to know the actual problem we are facing during our project. Phases in a project life cycle encompasses sequential and overlapping phases. A project life cycle typically has 4 major phases. They are initiation phase, planning phase, implementation or execution phase, and at the end is the closure phase. So now one by one we are going to see all the phases of project life cycle. First, in short, we'll see what all each step gives us, tries to say us. At initiation phase, the project needs to be identified and signal to start. At planning stage, this phase is where the project solution is further explored and necessary steps are to be achieved for the goals. Closure phase, this phase is the final closing of the product. And implementation, the project planning, is where we put into an action. This phase is when people are carrying out the tasks of their plan. Okay, so at initiation phase, the first phase explores the project concept. What is the concept of our project? What is the scope of our phase? Feasibility studies, whether it is going to be feasible or not. This is the phase at the project team is assembled and the project manager is identified to carry on the further project life cycle process for the project. So in this step, all these things are done, and the next step is planning phase. At this phase, further details and scope of the project are identified. Tasks and resources are identified and they have been assigned to the proper men or to the resources. Project manager coordinates the preparation of the schedule and project budget to set the budget for their project. Risks are identified. Quality plan is developed to maintain proper standard throughout projects. What all are the risks which they'll be facing during this process are being identified, and a proper solution to solve it. Communication plan is created in order to ensure everyone is constantly informed of project status. Communication is very much necessary to keep each and everyone updated about the project status, where it has been now. Next phase is execution phase, implementation phase. At this phase, where the work outlined in the project plan is performed, it is actually put into an action. This phase consumes the most resources and energy. Constant and close monitoring of the work should be done to ensure that the project is on proper track. This is very much necessary to see that whether our project is going on proper track or not. Status report are important for all stakeholders involved, as they are very much worried about their investments. That way they should be informed in prior. Deliverables are measured against the set metrics to matrices to ensure quality is acceptable. And the last step is closure phase. At this phase, project life cycle involves handing over final delivery of the product to the customer. Contracts are properly terminated. All stakeholders are to be informed about the closure of the product. This phase is when the team reviews the overall project and identify lessons learned for future project. At this phase, they also get a lesson from which they can improve in the next project. All the mistakes which they are doing in this project, there might be not such mistakes in after projects, in the project which they'll be taking ahead. So at this phase is also equally important like others are. Like each and every step is important in its own way, and each and everything should be performed for a successful project completion on time, on date, and a proper product should be there. Thank you so much.